Hello there. This is a story which I'm not going to name pilots or flights and things because it'd be totally disrespectful. The pilot we never found. So, um, yeah, but it happened. It happened in Lake Superior in Canada about 1955. I say I'm not going to go to on with dates and times, but it happened about 1955, and it was a pilot and his plane. It happened in awful weather. I know it was awful weather, and as far as I remember, in them days, I read they used to have four planes on standby: a 10-minute plane and a 5-minute plane, just in case, because it was Cold War, but for emergency and getting up there. And this one, there was something spotted in the sky on the radar station, spotted it. So they sent the 5 minutes planes up, which was ready, or basically pilots practically sat in the plane, and off he goes. And within minutes, he's describing all the way he's talking to the conning tower about where he is, height, and they're looking at him all the while. I think he described him at 25,000 feet, coming under 10,000 feet, closing on the object. And it doesn't, I can't remember what type of plane, it's irrelevant really. It's in 1955, so it's quite old. Anyway, the radar has to swap over because it's awful weather to another station, and they pick him up instantly. So they don't lose contact with him in the entirety of his flight, even though it's awful weather. They do follow him all the way through. And he's going far as I remember under 25,000 feet. Sorry, and he's going below the 10,000, just a few moments away from his object, and he's reporting back that he's approaching it, and then they see a blip on the radar, like that's all they see, a blip, and he comes up to it, and he's there for momentarily with it. So they just think because they're both close together, there instead of being two blips, they're just one. They just presume this fighter pilot moved his plane to this object, and that's what they did. So they kept. When there was only one blip though. They kept recording it recorded all the way through, and the pilot never answered. They kept asking him and asking him, but the fighter pilot never um, responded whatsoever. The moment the light blip went, he stopped responding. And they, for momentarily, they just thought he was chasing this object, a small plane or something, and they were so close to it, they lost the correspondence for two. Turned out no, they lost him. That plane, that other object was still there, and they still never found what it was. Anyway, they sent and instantly sent another 5-minute one straight up after it to try and find out what's happening. They couldn't find the other light, it was awful weather. I mean, total dreadful weather, and then they couldn't find literally anything at all. Eventually, they found search and rescue, and everybody went looking. They didn't find anything. No, nothing. The only one story what gets muddled up with it. There's supposed to be a diver, um, a private company was in Lake Superior. I think it was some weeks or months after, not instantly. And they say, but it wasn't, the Air Force never recognised it. They said they found a plane with the cockpit door shut, so the canopy door shut, and nobody was in it. So they say, and they also there's picture of it somewhere on the internet with these divers holding what looked like a piece of aeroplane, but it was never confirmed that was that plane at all. So nobody still have confirmed it. The thing interesting about it, they said next to the plane was a metallic object, Like again, nobody's confirmed that as well. I think the Air Force dismissed it all. So, but they described right next to the plane at the bottom of the lake was a small metallic object with it as well, but they don't know what it was. And again, military sort of took over, and that was it. But it was recorded really well. You can still hear the recordings to this day, with a unfortunate fighter pilot chasing after this object. It got close to it, and that's it. There were no chance for him to. It didn't release any guns, missiles, or nothing. No rockets or anything got released from it. It just stopped bleeping, and he was, as far as I understand, he was 10,000 feet above the ground. So it just didn't hit the water, not there. Experienced pilot. No, nobody knows to this day. What those divers found, I have no idea, because the Air Force never got back to. I've never seen it in the papers to read about it anyway. As far as I know, they just dismissed it as something else. But yeah, it's unfortunate affair altogether. But it's true. Yeah, happening awful weather though, if that's anything to do with it. But what happened to the other bleep? That seemed to just vanish. It seemed to follow it for a bit, and then it went. So maybe it was out a distance for the fighter pilots to go for. I was curious about that. Sure, there should have been another station to, if it had a shot one down, surely they would have gone like berserk and thought again, we thought we're having that, But unless it just disappears also. It's very vague, I'm afraid. All we know is that it's recorded really well up to the blip, two blips, and they're talking to him continually, and then it went. But after that, nobody knows. But we can't put it down as an abduction because we don't know. But we can't. But what happened? It's certainly unidentified flying craft because they've still not identified it even now. So yeah. But how many of these cases are there? Do we know? I can remember one that always bothered me years and years ago. I think it was on those tank busters. It went down in an American forest, and it was an officer, an experienced officer. It was probably about 20-something years ago, and they couldn't find it. That's what initially got me. It says, "Oh, we'll find it eventually." I thought, and it's supposed to be armoured to the teeth. It's probably got every GPS going on it. Yet they say they couldn't find it. Where they found it now, I don't know, but they reckon that because the forest was so dense that was the excuse. But that one set alarm bells off for me. But that's never come across any UFO site or anybody I've ever spoke to. Nobody seems to know about it, but it did happen. But how many is there? We don't know about. When they chase these things, and unfortunately, they don't come back. They're not going to let us know, are they? But that was 55. So how many is that? What, 70 years ago? That's it, and but we know Canada and Alaska's had so much UFOs for the last 70 years with interference with military jets. So what is around that area? Is this something which they definitely know but not going to tell us? Have they agreed upon with something up there? So you can have that bit area, just leave us alone. Will we ever know? I think we will eventually. But anyway, it's unfortunate about this airplane. True story though, unfortunately. Anyway, God bless. Thank you.